Welcome back to another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. Today, we are calling out the top 5 money pits that I see on a lot of cattle operations. And not only are they seen just on a lot of cattle operations, there's a lot of research behind these money pits as well from all of our extension offices, all of our universities. So the goal here is simply to plug leaks and find things that we can actually control. We're going to hit on winter feed and hay waste. We're going to hit on reproduction drag, equipment creep, death loss, and health gaps, and just some silent losses in marketing. For each of these, I'm going to give you a quick why it leaks, and then the telltale signs that it's happening, and 2 fixes that you can start right now. Let's dive right in. Number 1, we have winter feed and hay waste. Feed is usually your biggest expense, and winter simply just magnifies it. If hay disappears into mud, wind, and sloppy feeding, you are literally lighting dollars on fire. Exit data routinely shows feed costs can run north of half of the total cost in cow-calf systems. So every percentage points you can shave off moves the whole profit and loss statement at the end of the day. So some things to watch out for with this are simply our long winter feeding periods, ring feeders without skirts, and hay made because we've always made hay, and pastures that go dormant early when they could have been stockpiled better. 2 short fixes for you guys. Number 1, shorten your hay season where you can. Stockpile forage and graze deeper into winter. Even 1 extra week of grazing can reduce annual feed cost by about 1% per head. That is massive. I understand fully that we cannot always control when we have to start putting out hay, but try and do it data backed and not just, I think it's the week that we need to start putting out hay. Do it with data and science backing you on when you are putting those numbers out. Number 2, run the numbers on that hay. Owning hay equipment looks cheap until you include depreciation, interest, repairs, and labor that goes into all of it. In many budgets, machinery is a huge chunk of hay costs. Some herds come out ahead by stockpiling and just buying the balance of what they need for hay to make up the difference. If you can replace 30 hay days with stockpiled grazing, that's roughly about a 30% cut to your winter feed days, and it shows up directly in cash flow. Again, I get it. It all depends on the rain that we've had, the weather, everything else in between, but do it with data-backed science and not just off of gut feeling, because each day truly makes an impact. And make sure that you are utilizing your hay well, that you're putting it out in a way that makes the most sense for your herd and your operation, and that is not wasting any hay at the end of the day. Now, number 2, we are talking about reproduction. Nothing eats profit like an open cow. Reproduction is the top economic driver in a cow herd. More bred cows, earlier calves, and tighter seasons, rough winters and thin cow cascades into poor colostrum, weaker calves, and lower pregnancy rates the next turnaround. So what do you need to be watching for? Slips in pregnancy rates, too many late calvers, cows with body condition scores at 4 or lower going into calving, and no hard date to cull opens. 2 fixes that you guys can do for this. Use pregnancy testing to identify opens in late breeders to tighten that season as much as possible. Track with SPA style metrics so that you can see trend lines and you're not just guessing as time goes through with your breeding season. The next one is to feed a target body condition score by calving. So make sure that you have that target BCS and that you are hitting that every single winter, every single spring, to make sure that by the time calving comes around, your cows are where they need to be. Number 3, let's talk equipment. Tractors, balers, extra toys in the yard. It is easy to wake up, honestly, some days and just see a yard full of payments, even if the hours on them are low. Remember here, fixed costs do not care about calf prices. A simple back of napkin rule is that many pieces effectively depreciate around 10% of the purchase price per year before fuel and before repairs. So you need to be watching out for low annual hours on big equipment, multiple machines that can do the same job, and hay equipment that runs 2 days out of the entire year. So some fixes that you can make for this: right size or outsource. Custom work or sharing equipment can slash ownership costs without killing timelines that we need to maintain as cattle producers. Number 2 potential fix that you can make is bundling that hay decision with the equipment decision that we just talked about as well. If machinery drives about 40% of hay cost in some budgets, switching part of that hay to purchased or grazing for longer or things like that can make a big impact. Number 4, our second to last one, we're going to talk death loss and health gaps. Calf losses are brutal. They burn revenue and waste every single dollar already sunken into that cow. National snapshots show small herds are especially vulnerable. It doesn't take a mathematician to figure that out, that if you lose one calf in a 10 calf crop, you just took 10% off of your weaned numbers. Things like scours outbreaks, spotty colostrum intake, inconsistent colostrum quality from thin cows, and no written protocol in calving are all things that we need to be watching out for and biting in the butt as soon as humanly possible, because there is nothing worse than losing calves and not having calves to take to market in a few months. 2 fixes that you can have: protect the front end, guys. You've got to manage your cows to calve well, to have the right body condition score, to set them up for success, and have a simple written colostrum / newborn protocol that you can give to anyone that is helping you with your management during calving season. The next thing is have a standardized health and weaning thing that you are doing on your operation. Preconditioning and clear protocols set you up to capture value when you sell those cattle. And number 5, our last one that we are heading on today, is silent losses in marketing. We've touched on this a few times with John on the podcast, but just to recap it a little bit, the fact of the matter is you could raise a good calf and still leave money on the table at the sale. You have things like ununiform groups or poor timing, different things like that, that all at the end of the day are going to affect the amount that you are going to get on a dollar per pound basis. So make sure that you are talking to your sales reps, you're talking to your local sale barns, and that you are actually looking at those things and making sure that you are not going through all of this work. You have a great calf and then dropping the ball when it comes to sale day. Again, John and I touched on this a ton in our past episodes. So if you guys want to dive into just like silent losses in marketing and potentially leaving money at the table at the sale barn, go check those out because we go into so much more detail there. But some fixes that you guys can have is simply sell a story that buyers can trust. Vaccination records, weaning period protocols, and source / age consistency is extremely important in calves that actually match that paperwork. The next thing, lean into the people that you can trust at those sale barns. Talk to your market auction owners and ask them, when is the best time for me to bring my cattle in? That is simply the single best thing that you can do to not leave money at the table at the cattle market. So here is the 5-line audit that you can do this week. We're looking at hay days versus graze days. Check those out. What are you doing? When are you doing it? And use data-backed decisions there. Number 2, you've got your pregnancy rate and calving distribution. Look at it. Again, use data-backed decision-making here, guys. Number 3, you've got your equipment. What are the hours on it? Are you actually using it? Do you look out in your yard and you just see a yard full of payments? Maybe reevaluate that. Number 4, calf health. Guys, get those protocols in. Make sure that you are setting yourself up for success before those calves even hit the ground. And then number 5, you've got your sale plan. Again, talk to your local market auction owners and get in the loop on what is best for you and your operation. Pick the best week for you, build a uniform group, and prep well. The thing is, guys, is money pits do not fix themselves, but they are usually visible once you actually look for them. Trim winter feed waste, keep cows bred and in the right body condition score that you need them to be in for your operation, right size your equipment ratio, protect your calves, and sell the kind of cattle that buyers are willing to pay for. If you plug in 2 of the 5 that we talked about today, your year is automatically going to change. All 5, you've just completely hit the reset button on your ranch. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. I will see you all tomorrow on another episode of the podcast. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, and review. We really appreciate it here at the team, and we will see you all later. Have a good one, guys.